PBL Crew, problem-based learning activities to understand real-life problems in a human performance technology perspective. This video was designed and produced by Dr. Anne-Louise Davidson and Nadia Nafi. In the following video, you will be introduced to 8 characters from all strands of life who face various career and business challenges. Each of the characters has been invented by us to represent personas that you can meet in real life. In a human performance technology context, these personas belong to various groups of performers. This video comes with lab guide sheets to answer human performance technology related questions. Make sure you have them. Meet Ricardo, Vicky, Jen, Jack, Mary, Harry, Joe, Pierre. And here are their stories. Ricardo immigrated to Canada in 2008. He was born in Bolivia and lived in Venezuela for most of his life, where he ran the family business, a plumbing shop. When his parents passed away, he came to Canada to ensure that his children would get a chance at getting a good education and a better life than he had. He sold his business and brought all of his belongings in a container so that he could start a new life here. When he arrived, he was sent to the Immigration Employment Center. They asked him dozens of questions and helped him create a CV the Canadian way. The professional who helped him at the employment center explained that the Canadian government offers to reimburse 50% of the salary for a period of 6 months to employers who hire new immigrants. Ricardo was confident that he would get a job because he worked all his life as a plumber and he knew exactly how to manage a business with all the logistics it involves. The first time he applied for a plumbing job, Ricardo realized he needed a specific license to be a plumber in Canada and another one in Quebec. Some employers did hire apprentices that were coming out of college, but they had to be either recent graduates or currently enrolled in college. Ricardo wished he had the time and resources to go back to college, but it is a lengthy process, and he's not sure that going back to college would guarantee him a job. Also, he already has a lot of experience as a plumber. It's one of these cases when the training doesn't really match the skills of the learner. Ricardo also tried to get a job in the retail industry related to plumbing. He sent his CV and a cover letter to all the businesses in the Ottawa and Montreal area that he could find in the phone book. After sending out over 1,000 CVs and spending close to $2,000 in paper, envelopes, and stamps, Ricardo didn't receive one single phone call. Every morning, after he sent the kids to school, Ricardo took the habit to go to the coffee shop next to his house, where he read several papers that were available for free. He wanted to keep himself informed with the politics and consult the job sections. He noticed that he was not the only one to have this habit. Most of the regulars, however, did not spend much time reading the paper. They all had laptops or tablets or smartphones, which Ricardo didn't really know how to use, given he had limited contacts with digital technologies in his life. So what can you do to save the Ricardos of this world? One woman who often seemed quite busy also often spoke Spanish on the phone. She came in every morning, ordered a tea, opened her laptop, and did all sorts of activities while she spoke with her clients. Ricardo, who had become familiar with her face, took the opportunity to exchange a few words with her. Vicky is a successful instructional designer who worked for 1 year as an educational software designer and then started her PhD full-time. During her PhD studies, she decided to start her own business and took contracts with various companies. She no longer had enough time to create all the training material, so she outsourced the graphic design elements to a graphic designer named Jen. When she friended Jen, she discovered her portfolio through her photo album on Instagram. She really liked her style and wanted similar visuals in her e-learning courses, so she started by giving her a contract for a few illustrations. This first contract led to a second one and to another one, which became a very strong partnership between the two girls, despite the fact that they had never met. Jen lives with her boyfriend, Jack, in British Columbia. Jack has an online electronics distribution business. He takes advantage of the business with China to buy large amounts of electronics and resells in smaller amounts in Canada. He runs his business from his home and he fills up his garage with the electronic goods. All of his business is done online and he recruits many clients from creating links in social networks. Despite his skills as a programmer, Jack is running out of time. His business is doing really well, perhaps too well. He will need to find technological solutions to manage the logistics of his employees sooner than later. Jen's father, Harry, has a business in the Ottawa area called Bat Depot. He sells bathroom accessories and offers bathtub refinishing services. He always made a really good living out of his business, but the competition from big companies and the access to bathtubs made in China that are much cheaper is making Bat Depot suffer. His competitors are all present on social media, and they push information to the customers. Harry is beginning to wonder if he can go on with 10% of the business he used to have. What can be done to save Harry's business? Harry's wife, Mary, has been the director of a language school for the past 20 years. Traditionally, language courses were offered face-to-face, but in the past few years, there has been a growing demand to expand the service offering online to both reach new customers and to exploit the potential of synchronous and asynchronous technologies. While Mary is very open to these new ideas, and she's able to use email and prepare spreadsheets and install educational software on her computers, she doesn't really feel confident to use technologies to teach. She feels even less comfortable to take institutional decisions to implement a wide-scale change. Mary knows that her teachers are all excellent language teachers, but not all of them know how to teach with the technology. Mary anticipates that the newer generation of teachers, although they have less experience with language teaching, will have no problem teaching online because of their tech savviness. The most experienced teachers, who have been teaching all their lives in face-to-face mode, have not yet adopted technology. Those who have some experience with technology have adopted the basic ones, such as email and cell phones. There's also a small group of retired teachers who work part-time and teach several languages. They teach using a classical, well-proven approach. They helped Mary's school get on its feet several years ago and have won several prizes for excellence in language teaching. They are well-read, well-traveled, and have solid reputations. However, they refuse to teach online. Mary decides to approach two young teachers that have been performing well as language instructors to try a new pilot project. Pierre, who is a French and German instructor, was born in France of a French mother and German father. Mary notices that during his lunch hour, Pierre often puts on his headphones and has conversations over Skype with his relatives in Europe. He appears to do this rather naturally. Joe is an English and Spanish instructor who also did some work as a web and server administrator for the language school. He knows his technologies really well because his background was in computer engineering. He has a small consulting business aside from the work he does at the language school. Mary heard that he designs MOOCs for higher education institutions, but she doesn't really know what it means. Pierre and Joe both agree to be part of this pilot project, as they are enthusiastic to teach online. This was PBL Crew Problem-Based Learning Activities, designed and produced by Dr. Anne Louise Davidson and Nadia Nafi. All rights reserved. You may download and share this video for educational and non-commercial uses. You may not modify this video and the audio attached in any way or use them commercially. For other types of licenses, please contact the authors. This video was created in 2013 and updated in 2014.